Relia was a kind and hardworking girl. She lived in a small village with her blind mother and her father, who had a broken back and could no longer walk. Every day, Relia did her best to help her parents. She fetched water, cooked food, and gathered firewood from the nearby forest. One afternoon, while she was in the forest arranging firewood, a strong wind blew through the trees. Dry leaves swirled around her, and before she knew it, she had lost her way. The forest was thick and dark, and the more she walked, the more confused she became. As night fell, Relia grew tired and scared. Just when she thought she would have to sleep under a tree, she saw a small hut in the distance. She knocked on the door, and an old woman with long gray hair and piercing eyes opened it. "Who are you, child?" the woman asked. "I am lost," Relia said, her voice shaking. "Please help me." The woman smiled, showing her crooked teeth. "I will let you stay, but you must give me something in return." "I have nothing to give," Relia replied. "You have a sweet voice," the old woman said. "Sing for me, and I will give you food and shelter." Relia hesitated, but she was too hungry to refuse. Every night, she sang for the old woman, and in return, she was given food and a place to sleep. But soon, Relia noticed something strange. The more she sang, the weaker she felt, as if the old woman was stealing her voice. Fearing she would lose her voice forever, Relia decided to run away. Late one night, while the old woman was asleep, she slipped out of the hut and ran as fast as she could. The forest was dark, and she could barely see where she was going. Suddenly, a loud whoosh sounded, and something sharp flew past her. It was an arrow. "Who's there?" a deep voice called. Relia froze. Out of the shadows stepped a tall man with a bow in his hand. He was a hunter. "I thought you were an animal," he said. "What are you doing in the forest alone?" Tears filled Relia's eyes as she told him everything. The hunter's face softened. "You must be tired and hungry. Come with me." The hunter took Relia to his home, where his wife and daughter welcomed her warmly. For the first time in days, Relia felt safe. She quickly became friends with the hunter's daughter, Amina. The two girls spent their days playing and helping around the house. One sunny afternoon, they were playing near the village road when a horse came galloping toward them. Before Relia could move, the horse knocked her down. The rider quickly jumped off. It was a young prince. His face was full of worry as he lifted Relia in his arms. "I'm so sorry," he said. "I will take care of her." The prince carried Relia to his palace, where the royal doctors treated her wounds. For days, he made sure she was well cared for. When she finally recovered, he asked her about her family. "I have to go back home," Relia said. "My parents must be so worried." The prince arranged for his guards to take her home. When they arrived at her village, Relia ran into the arms of her mother and father. They held her tightly, crying tears of joy. "We thought we lost you forever," her mother sobbed. Relia told them everything that had happened. Though she had been through many dangers, she was finally home. From that day on, she never went to the forest alone again. And in the village, people often spoke of the brave girl who had faced a witch, escaped danger, and returned home safe.